बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हो तुम्हें। हम भी जोश में आ जाते हैं ना, ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। चलो, here point is that allegans contraria non est audiendus. Allegans means allegations. This is the method how to remember the Latin maxims. Allegans means allegation, contraria means contrary, non means not, est I don't know, audiendus means hearing. It means contrary allegations shall not be heard. What is the meaning of contrary allegations? Today I said that, tomorrow, today I said that my goods are very nice, please purchase. Tomorrow you purchased, and later on in the when you filed a case against me, I cannot say that no, 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 I was not the owner, I had made the fraud like this. I cannot take the contrary allegations. That's why whole estoppel is the based on the Latin maxim allegans contraria non est audiendus. Contrary allegations should not be heard. Regarding the case, if you see the case, most landmark judgment on this topic is the Picard versus Sears. Lord Denman had decided this case. Picard versus Sears, this case is the most important case because our Indian Evidence Act, sorry for 1 minute, here Picard versus Sears was decided in 1837. It was decided in 1837. And after that, Indian Evidence Act was codified, and Indian Evidence Act was came into force in 1872. It means whole bare provisions of the section 115 of the Indian Evidence Act is the wording of the Lord Denman, which was used in the case of Picard versus Sears. मतलब ये हुआ कि लॉर्ड डेनमैन ने इस जजमेंट में जो वर्ड लिखा था, उसी वर्ड को एज इट इज ला करके इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट के 115 में रख दिया गया है। बस एक डिफरेंस, दो डिफरेंस है। एक डिफरेंस मैं बता दूं, इस केस में लॉर्ड डेनमैन ने विलफुली यूज किया था वर्ड, और इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट में वर्ड इंटेंशन यूज हुआ है। दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस। इट मींस whatever word was used by the Lord Denman in the case of Picard versus Sears, same wording has been used in the Indian Evidence Act. But only basic difference is that in the case of Picard versus Sears, Lord Denman used the word willfully, and in the Indian Evidence Act, word willfully was not used. Instead of this word intention was put. After that, this is the starting of the law of the estoppel. After that, one more case was decided here, the Central London. There are three leading cases which talks about the promissory estoppel. I will discuss the two types of cases. Here is that some cases, one side is estoppel and other side the promissory estoppel. First of all, I will discuss the estoppel, then I will discuss the promissory estoppel. And another case on the promissory estoppel is the Motilal पदमपत सागर मिल्स वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ यूपी। इसको शॉर्ट में कहा जाता है एमपी सुगर मिल्स वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ यूपी। दिस इज द अनदर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट केस रिगार्डिंग द promissory estoppel. So here there are two parts. One part is talks about the estoppel, other part is the promissory estoppel. Unfortunately, in our syllabus, even a single word has not been used about the promissory estoppel. I have to discuss only and only estoppel, but I know that for the competitive exam, promissory estoppel is most important. That's why I will discuss both the points, promissory estoppel as well as the estoppel. Regarding the point regarding your case mate is the three cases, that is the Madanappa and Sanatan Kumari Madhuri. These are in your syllabus. These three cases are in your syllabus. And other cases is that no, this is the talks about the ingredient. In this way, I will discuss each and every points. Wait for this is the starting class. That's why I'm taking some time. If you see the question paper of the previous year, you always see your previous year question paper of the DU. This was the question which was asked in 2019 question paper. That was the question based on the estoppel. I will discuss in the last what will be answer of these questions. And if you see the question paper of the here, if you see the question paper of the Bihar like this, these are the questions paper which talks about the estoppel. Here the HJS means Haryana Judicial Service Exam. If you see the every year's question has been asked in the Haryana Judicial Service exam, Bihar. If you see the UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, DGS, even in the DGS, you will see the right short note on the issue estoppel, right short note on the plea of issue estoppel. What is the issue estoppel? That is the I will discuss issue estoppel. I had written this article with the help of uh, article written by Honorable Justice A.K. Ganguly, and that was very nice. And in that case, in that article, issue estoppel was discussed. Here see the promissory estoppel, all the questions have been mentioned on the promissory estoppel. After these are the previous year. कई बार स्टूडेंट्स कहते हैं सर हम नोट्स कैसे बनाए, कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी कैसे करें, तो इस पर मैं यही बता देता हूँ। जैसे मान लीजिए कि ये यूपीजे का क्वेश्चन पेपर ले लूँ, अगर यूपी का देना है तो, और इसको सिस्टमेटिक वे में लिखो। 1982 में क्वेश्चन आया, यस। 91, यस। 91, यस। If you see every years, here this question was asked repeated, same question was repeated in 2003 and 82 and 2015, 2018, no question. It means if you see the in each and every year one question has been asked on this topic. Come to the point here. Regarding the introductions, here is the now I am going to start the class in proper manner. Here word estoppel has been derived from the word stop. Estoppel word, from where it has been derived? This word has been derived from the word estoppel. And section 115 word has been used from the word Picard versus Sears case, it was decided. लेकिन एक बात मैं और बता दूं, आपके केसमेट में ये जजमेंट कोट किया गया था, एक जगह बहुत शार्ट में कोट किया गया था पिकार्ड वर्सेस सीयर्स, और वहां पे जो वर्ड यूज हुआ था उस वर्डिंग में ये प्रॉब्लम हो गई थी, या वर्ड आर की जगह ऑफ लिख दिया गया था। क्या लिखा गया था? वर्ड ऑफ कंडक्ट। इससे बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा था, तो हमने और कई जजमेंट बहुत जल्दी से पढ़े और एक कंक्लूड किया कि यहाँ पे ऑफ नहीं होना चाहिए, आर होना चाहिए। आप अपने जहां पर भी हो, एक केस में पढ़ाऊंगा उसमें ऑफ वर्ड यूज हुआ है, तो ऑफ की जगह आप आर कर लीजिएगा। तो ये वर्ड है, यही वर्ड हमने रखा है। तो इंट्रोडक्शन में वर्ड कहाँ से डिराइव हुआ है? स्टॉप से डिराइव हुआ है। लीडिंग केस कौन है? पिकार्ड वर्सेस सीयर्स का केस है। 115 टॉक्स अबाउट द स्टॉपेल लाइक दिस पॉइंट। ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है? व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्ट? व्हाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द, व्हाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग estoppel, why it has been introduced in our law? It has been mentioned object. There are two parts of the object. Here in your screen there is a case or Madanappa versus Chandramma. This case has been mentioned in your syllabus. I have to discuss thoroughly this case, but in the this part regarding the object, it simply said that object is that to prevent the fraud. What is the object? Estoppel. Estoppel is that to prevent the fraud and to secure the justice. इसका दो ही ऑब्जेक्ट है। If anyone asks what is the object of the estoppel which have been mentioned under the Indian Evidence Act 115 to 117, one day Sumit asked me a question that section 43 of the Transfer of Property Act also deals about the estoppel and Indian Contract Act also talks about the in certain cases estoppel is not applicable in the case of minor cases. So what is the meaning regarding the estoppel used Indian Evidence Act, Indian Evidence Act, Transfer of Property Act, Indian Contract Act? I will discuss everything later on. So here what is the object? Object is that to prevent fraud and to secure the justice. Come to the point, what is the kinds of estoppel? This is the very important points. Regarding the kinds of estoppel, here there are three parts. First part talks about the estoppel by matter of record or judgment. What is the matter of record or judgment? It means suppose that one case has been there was a controversy between me and Kirti. After that, what happened? She went to the court and judgment was finally decided. Okay, judgment was decided in 2010. Later on, again she filed a case against me in 2015 on the same facts, on the same issues. So whether she would be stopped or not, yes, but that types of estoppel will be called as a estoppel by record or judgment. What is the basic difference between estoppel by record or judgment and estoppel by bias or conduct? Basic difference is that here in estoppel by record or judgment, court is prohibited to take the cognizance. Court is prohibited to try the case. That's why estoppel by record has been mentioned in sorry estoppel by record has been mentioned under the Indian Evidence Act, section 40 to 43. Section 42, 43 talks about the estoppel by matter of record. If you see the CPC, if you see the CPC, section 11 of the CPC talks about the estoppel by record or judgment. So that's why here estoppel by record or judgment means once a judgment which has been decided by competent court on the same issue and facts, other court will not be entitled to take the cognizance. That will be called estoppel by record or estoppel by judgment. I hope that the first part you have got in a very easy manner. Second part is that estoppel by matter in writing or deed. Here estoppel by matter of writing or deed, estoppel by matter in writing or deed. Here if we see estoppel by matter in writing or deed, at that point you can take the important point regarding the section 58 regarding the admissions. Here section 58 is that section 58 of the Indian Evidence Act. Suppose that once you have written anything on writing, later on you cannot challenge that that writing was not my own. Okay, you can challenge that that was written by me by the force, that was undue influence, that was the coercions, all these things. But that writing itself cannot be challenged. That's why second part is the estoppel by matter in writing or deed. Third part is that regarding the third part, I have already mentioned third part. There are three parts. Third part is that section 115 to 127. The third parts I have to discuss in our syllabus. I have to discuss section estoppel by pious और pious conduct. इसको pious मत समझ लेना, इसका एक वर्डिंग ही है PAIIS pious, या जो भी पढ़ना होगा पढ़ लेना, अंग्रेजी पर भरोसा नहीं है, गाड़ी चल गई तो चल गई, गिर गई तो फिर कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. Estoppel by pious or conduct which have been mentioned in our syllabus, that is the I have to discuss section 115 to 117. Here I wanted to remind that even these points was not in your syllabus, but I had already discussed in my notes so that you can get in the competitive exam very easy manner. Come to the point estoppel by matter of record or judgment. Here I had already quoted section 11 of the CPC, section 40 to 43 talks about Indian Evidence Act, talks about the estoppel by record judgment. Okay, issue estoppel. If any students who is the second year who knows very well that res judicata is also applicable on the issue. So that's why issue estoppel is a part of the res judicata. Issue estoppel was part of the res judicata. This is the favorite question of DGS exam. In the DGS exam, they always ask about the issue estoppel because they have to maintain their dignity. That's why they ask something different, new, and that's why they always ask what is the issue estoppel. And that point I have written with the help of A.K. Ganguly, who has written the article Principle of Estoppel like this. This was published in the GILI. With the help of this citation, you can read this point. Estoppel by matter in record, I have already discussed. Come to the third point. Third point I have to discuss. This is in our syllabus. Estoppel by pious or representative 115 like this. Here again I told you that most important case is that Picard versus Sears. In the brief, I will discuss what is the Picard versus Sears, then I will discuss. In this case, what was the fact? In this case, there were three parties. In this case, how many parties? There were three parties. One person was the mortgager. One person was the mortgager. Later on, he sold his property. He was the mortgager. Other party was the mortgagee. Who was the mortgagee? In this case, Picard was the mortgagee. Who was the mortgagee? Picard was the mortgagee. And who purchased that mortgage property? Sears purchased that property in good faith. Now it becomes very clear there are three persons. First, first person is the X, second is the Picard, third is the Sears. Yes, mute all. In this way, what happened in this case? In this case, what happened? X mortgaged his property in the hand of the Picard. Picard was the mortgagee. Later on, X decided to sell that property. When X was selling his mortgage property to the Sears, Picard went at that place, made inquiry everything. Picard got information that X was selling that mortgage property in the hand of the Sears. But Picard neither said anything to the Sears nor raised any objections. It means Picard silently give consent for selling of that subject matter. Sears was not knowing that that property which he was purchasing was the mortgage property. Sears purchased that property in good faith. Later on, Picard filed a case against the Sears and started to claim that Mr. Sears, you have to pay mortgage money in my hand because you have purchased property without my consent. Later on, in that example, Honorable Justice uh, Denman clearly said that no, Picard, by his conduct, had given implied consent. Once Picard has given the implied consent, now Picard cannot claim anything from the Sears. In this way, Picard cannot revert from his earlier position. What was his earlier position? Earlier position was that he had, by his conduct, by his silent consent, he has given the consent for the sale of that mortgage property. That's why Picard did not get any remedy. That's why this is the well-known case on the basis of section 115. एक मिनट हिंदी में भी बता देता हूँ. देखो, इंटरव्यू में जाओगे 100% क्वेश्चन पूछेगा और स्टूडेंट तुरंत कर देता है, अरे हमारे डीयू के सिलेबस में तो पिकार्ड वर्सेस सीयर्स का था ही नहीं, हमें तो पढ़ाया ही नहीं गया, ये तो हमारे सिलेबस में था ही नहीं. ब्लेम देना आसान काम है भाई. अब तुम साइलेंट कर लो, कहाँ खड़खड़ा रहे हो भाई. आप सुन दे देता हूँ. सुमित, सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है ना ग्रुप में?
आप है तो सब कुछ है.
हाँ, कोई परेशान नहीं होगा तो बताना. तो इस तरह से पिकार्ड वर्सेस सीयर्स को पढ़ लेना, आगे वो ब्लेम मत करना है. अब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे इसके बाद. डिसीजन भी आ गया है. पिकार्ड क्लेम हिज राइट फ्रॉम सीयर्स, स्टोपेल वाज अप्लाइड अगेंस्ट द पिकार्ड. Court held that Picard was not entitled for this because he had given the implied consent. Okay, this is the point. लॉर्ड डेनमैन का ये ऑब्जर्वेशन है और इसी डेनमैन के ऑब्जर्वेशन को हमने 115, दिस इज द ऑब्जर्वेशन ऑफ द लॉर्ड डेनमैन एंड आई हैव कंपेयर्ड quotation of the Lord Denman in the Picard versus Sears case in one side and another side section 115 of the Indian Evidence Act. If you read the section 115, and Lord Picard, you can find that similar things, concept of the Lord Denman is same as it was quoted. Basic difference is that Lord Denman put the word willfully and in Indian Evidence Act it was put the word intentionally. And some other changes were quoted in that point. That is another point. One day Sumit asked me question, sir, whether the estoppel as mentioned under the section 115 is the substantive law or law of evidence. As you know that sometimes adjective law, the law of evidence is called procedural law. It is also called adjective law. So one student asked me what is the difference between procedural law and adjective law. एक बार मैं क्या किया कि फेसबुक पर इसको लिख करके डाला था और उसकी पॉलिंग लाइन यही थी कि लॉ ऑफ एविडेंस इज द एडजेक्टिव लॉ। तो वहां पे एक स्टूडेंट ने गुड फेथ में लिखा, जो भी रहा हो, कहा कि सर एडजेक्टिव लॉ और प्रोसीजरल लॉ में अंतर क्या है। तो मैंने सर्च किया, सर्च करने के बाद ये मैंने पाया कि देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन प्रोसीजरल लॉ एंड एडजेक्टिव लॉ। अर्लियर टाइम jurists, when they were classifying the law, they were classifying the law into two parts, adjective law and substantive law. It means at the modern time, jurists started to use the word procedural law rather than adjective law. If you see, even the Bentham had used the word adjective law instead of the word procedural law. So my point is that there is no difference between the adjective law and the procedural law. In the modern time, no jurist is using the word adjective law. We are not using the adjective law. We are using the procedural law. That's why law of evidence can be called as adjective law or procedural law. Both are same things. But question is that whether estoppel is the rule of evidence, that is the adjective law, or rule of the substantive law. This is the hot debate among the jurists. This is the point of the hard debate among the jurists. सुन लेना भाई सुमित, अपना कुछ आंसर ढूंढ लेना इसी में। समझ में आ गया तो ठीक है, नहीं समझ में आया तो और अच्छी बात है। Here jurist, one side, see Taylor, Stephen, Lord Helden, Lord Mugum said that law of evidence is the procedural law. But other side, Khimpson, Cross, Knox, Lord Wright said that this is the substantive law. See, this is a big controversy between the jurists whether law of estoppel as law of estoppel is a substantive law or procedural law. My point, before I going to discuss these points, again I wanted to clarify in one line, otherwise पूरा पढ़ा दूंगा confuse ही रह जाओगे. Whatever estoppel has been discussed under section 43 of the Transfer of Property Act or a law of estoppel regarding the Indian Contract Act, those are part of the substantive law. Whatever has been used under section 115 to 117, those are parts of the procedural law. मतलब कि सब्सटेंटिव लॉ में जो चीजें यूज हुई है एस्टोपेल के बारे में वह सब्सटेंटिव लॉ होगा, और जो एस्टोपेल के बारे में प्रोसीजरल लॉ में यूज हुआ है, एविडेंस में यूज हुआ है, वो एडजेक्टिव लॉ का पार्ट होगा, प्रोसीजरल लॉ का पार्ट होगा। ये बहुत ही पॉइंट क्लियर है, लेकिन यहाँ पे मैं डिस्कस कर देता हूँ तो व्हाट वुड बी इफेक्ट if estoppel will be called adjective law and what would be effect if estoppel will be called as a substantive law. Basic difference is that, see, there is a controversy. Taylor, Stephen, Helden, Mugum, जब इन जुरिस्टों के बीच में कंट्रोवर्सी है तो हम लोग की क्या बिसात है भाई, हम लोग क्या जाने। अब देखो एक साइड में जुरिस्ट, इतने जुरिस्ट आपस में भिड़े हुए हैं, झगड़ रहे हैं, कुछ कह रहे हैं कि ये प्रोसीजरल है, कुछ कह रहे हैं कि सब्सटेंटिव लॉ। So what would be matter if it will be procedural law and what would be substantive law? Basic difference is that if anyone asks in one line, basic difference is that if estoppel is substantive law, in that matter, estoppel itself shall not be sufficient to file a case against the other person. It means estoppel does not create cause of action. If you are going to recognize estoppel as a adjective law, it means on that basis you cannot file a case. But once you recognized estoppel as a substantive law, in that case you can file a case, it will raise cause of actions. That's why basic difference is that once you treat the law of estoppel as an adjective law, it means that estoppel can be used only for the purpose of proving or disproving, that cannot create cause of action. But in the case of substantive law, you can file a case, it will create cause of action. Regarding the second point, timing. Law of estoppel as a part of adjective law, it is applicable only in the present or past fact. But here as a part of the substantive law, it will not applicable only to the present or past, but it will also applicable to the future conduct. Relationship. Regarding the relationship, if you treat the law of evidence as an adjective, pre-existing relationship is a mandatory like the contract. In case of the law of substantive law, there is no need of pre-existing relationship. For the example, law of torts. तो आप देख रहे हैं कि आप अगर यहाँ पे 3 बेसिक डिफरेंस हो गए, इन बेसिक डिफरेंस से एक इंटरव्यू में जब बहुत ही इजी क्वेश्चन क्रॉस हो जाए और इंटरव्यू खत्म होने वाला रहे, जब आपका नॉलेज फाइनल स्टेज पर चेक होगा, तब इसमें एक क्वेश्चन आएगा कि स्टोपेल को अगर एविडेंस एडजेक्टिव लॉ का पार्ट मानेंगे तब क्या होगा और सब्सटैंटिव लॉ का पार्ट मानेंगे तब क्या होगा। और ये जब क्वेश्चन आ गया तो समझ लो कि तुम 70 प्राप्त क्रॉस करोगे अगर बता दिए, और नहीं बताए तो मान लो कि 60 तुम्हें एवरेज मिलेगा। डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन बताने से मार्क्स ऐड होते हैं, नहीं बताने से मार्क्स कटते नहीं है। ये बेसिक डिफरेंस है। तो चलो अब इसके बाद हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। बस एक लाइन का पार्ट कहूंगा। इफ यू सी द हियर Lord Wright, Lord Wright, he is talking about it is the substantive law. What happened in the UP judiciary exam? In the UP judiciary exam, 2 times this statement was quoted. They did not mention who is jurist, who has quoted this point. Silent कर लो भाई तुम लोग, mute all. Yes. They did not use the word, but this statement was put. Estoppel is a complex legal notion. In which year it was asked? In UPJ 92-2003. तो मैंने क्या किया है, इस कोटेशन को सर्च किया। सर्च करने के बाद how to write in impressive way. You have to write that estoppel is a complex legal notion involving combination of several essential elements. This sentence was used by the Lord Wright in 1947 in his landmark judgment, that is the Canada and Dominion Sugar Company Limited versus Canadian National Company Limited. ये भौकाल बनाने के बाद, ये इंट्रोडक्शन लिखने के बाद, जो अपने हिसाब से स्टोबेल के बारे में जानते हो वो लिख देना, लेकिन ये भौकाल लिख देना। ये थोड़ा सा स्टार्टिंग वर्ड में लगेगा, अरे राइट के बारे में लिख दिया, राइट का नाम लिख दिया, ईयर लिख दिया, केस का नाम लिख दिया। अब इसके बाद जो लिख दो बस नंबर पाना ही, कोई रोक ही नहीं पाएगा। अब आज हम बेयर एक्ट के चर्च आते हैं, हाउ टू डिस्कस द बेयर एक्ट। देयर आर 3 सेक्शंस वी हैव टू डिस्कस, सेक्शन 115 to 117। एक बात और मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, लड़के 115 को ही पढ़ते हैं, 16 और 17 को छोड़ देते हैं। वो समझते हैं यार 16-17 को तो पढ़ने की चीजें नहीं है, सर ने तो डिस्कस किया ही नहीं। लेकिन प्रीवियस का क्वेश्चन पेपर एक बार उठा करके देख लेना, शुरू में लिखा हूँ, क्वेश्चन हमेशा 116 और 17 से भी पूछता है। तो ऐसा न करना कि 115 पढ़ना, 16-17 छोड़ देना। हाँ लिख देना, 60 में लिख देना, अलग चीज है। तो मैं तुम लोगों का तीनों सेक्शन थोरोली डिस्कस करूंगा, 15, 16, 17, देन आई विल डिस्कस फर्दर। सी द हियर, व्हाट इज द 115? It is the special, it is the general, it is applicable to all cases. But 116 and 17 both are particular, both are specific. How both are specific? Here it talks about the tenant license, and this talks about the acceptor. This talks about the acceptor, bailee and licensee. You can raise a question, sir, why word licensee has been used here in 116 as well as 117? लाइसेंसी दोनों सेक्शन में क्यों यूज किया गया है? 16 में भी यूज किया गया है, 17 में भी यूज किया गया है। इन दोनों में अंतर क्या है? दोनों का अंतर के लिए मैं एक चार्ट बना चुका हूं, आगे मैं पढ़ा दूंगा, लेकिन फिलहाल अभी स्टार्ट करने दो। स्टोपेल 115, I will discuss the 115, that is the starting, which is the general, and this is the based on the Picard versus Sears, on the basis of the statement of the Lord Denman. Stopel, how to remember इट इज ए वेरी इजी टू रिमेम्बर। वेयर व्हेन वन पर्सन, क्या वर्ड यूज होता है? पर्सन। तो व्हाट इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन मैन एंड पर्सन? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन वुमेन एंड पर्सन? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ट्रांसजेंडर एंड वुमेन, transgender and man, transgender and person? These are the basic questions. जैसे रियलाइज करोगे कि अगर तुम्हें कोई ट्रांसजेंडर कह दे तो कैसा महसूस होगा, तुरंत कहोगे कि आई कैन प्रूव माई कैपेसिटी, जानता हूं कि प्रूव कर सकते हो। तो व्हेन वन पर्सन यहाँ पे यूज हुआ है, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पर्सन? पर्सन मीन्स इट इंक्लूड्स मैन, वुमेन, ट्रांसजेंडर, कंपनी, यूनिवर्सिटी, parliament, judiciary, court, whatever might be that. This is a very wide term. When one person, that's why here in the footnotes, I think I have written that person includes human being as well as other legal entities, including the company. Once you write in your competitive exam man rather than person, you doesn't deserve any marks. So that's why be careful. Starting and most important word is the person. Okay, this is the word when one person has by his and there are three methods. There are three methods: by his declaration, by act or omission. By his declaration, कभी कभी क्या करता है, सीधा सीधा बोल देता है कि आई लव यू, इस तरह का स्टेटमेंट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड दे देता है डिक्लेरेशन। एक्ट क्या होता है कि वो चक्कर काटता रहेगा, ऐसा लगेगा कि जैसे कि पृथ्वी सूर्य का चक्कर काट रही हो, बोलता कुछ नहीं है, वो साइलेंट पड़ा रहता है लेकिन चक्कर काटेगा पूरा, उसको एक्ट कहेंगे। ओमिशन कहेंगे यहाँ पे वो साइलेंट रहता है। मान लीजिए बाय लक कितना तगड़ा है कि किसी लड़की ने तुम्हें ही प्रपोज कर दे और तुम भी भाव खा रहे हो, और ओमिशन मतलब इम्प्लाइडली दे दे रहे हो कोई बात नहीं चलो ठीक है। तीन पार्ट है यहाँ पे, या तो डिक्लेरेशन है, या तो एक्ट है, या तो ओमिशन है। देयर आर थ्री मेथड बाय विच यू आर डूइंग टू थिंग्स। बाय थ्री मेथड्स यू आर डूइंग टू थिंग्स। व्हाट आर डूइंग टू थिंग्स? You are causing or permitted to whom? To another persons to believe a thing to be true and to act upon such belief. यही मेन पार्ट है सेक्शन 115 का। दिस इज द मेन पार्ट ऑफ द सेक्शन 115, बाकी तो सब मोह माया है। This is the main part, this you have to remember. Second part you can remember easily. This is the second part. Here I will start later on. This is the very easy. So what is the main part? Main part is that when one person by his three method, by declaration, by act or omission, by these three methods what he had did caused or permitted to whom? To another person to believe things to be true. And only believing is not sufficient, he has done something. मान लीजिए कि तूने बिलीव कर लिया, पड़े पड़े मतलब कि भीष्म पितामह की तरह सैया पर पड़े हुए सुन लिए कि हाँ क्या कहा गया, लेकिन तुमने कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं किया। इन दैट सर्कमस्टांसेस स्टोपेल विल नॉट बी अप्लीकेबल। भीष्म पितामह की सैया से ऊपर उठ करके तुम्हें बाण चलाना होगा। इट मीन्स merely believing is not sufficient, you have to act upon such belief. What happened after these things? What happened? Neither he. What is the meaning of neither he? Neither he means that persons. Neither he means that person. That person means that person who was by his declaration, by his act or omission. Neither he nor his representative shall be allowed in any suit or in any proceeding. For what purposes he shall not be allowed? They shall not be allowed to deny the truth of that things. They shall not be allowed to deny the truth with that things. But here that suit or proceeding must be between himself and such person or his representative. मतलब कि मैंने ओ किया, मतलब कि अपने डिक्लेरेशन एक्ट ओमिशन से मतलब कि नानी को हमने इंस्टिगेट किया और नानी ने कुछ एक्टिविटी किया, नानी को लॉस हुआ। फाइनली नानी रिसीव्ड सम लॉस by activity of my declaration act or omissions, but Nani did not file a case against me. Instead of Nani, Raja filed a case against me. Raja filed a case that with your activity, your declaration, Nani had suffered loss. In that case, estoppel shall not be applicable against me. Why? Because here Nani has not come. Here Raja has come. So between himself and such person are his representative. Himself, what is the meaning of himself? Meaning of himself says that here the person who acted upon such belief, that person, his means that person. This is the relation between these persons. And this person, his representative of interest, this is related to this person. That's why I hope that everyone have got this point. Estoppel, there are two parts of the estoppel. One part on the side of the one party that, for the example, X by his declaration, act or omission